remove this light.
Oh, you go live.
So, in the absence of an annual person, I guess I'll take the lead. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have some silence, please? Ladies and gentlemen, please. I like to back down soon. And then you had a very busy day on the field. I guess you were successful, right? Congratulations. Congratulations. You just won his primaries. House of Representative candidates for the Adabi Local constituency. Congratulations. Next thing, we also have another gentleman who successfully won his primaries too. Alaji Tidaya to Adomo for the locating Federal House of Representatives under that platform, the PDP. So please let's have some quiet. I was able to scribble something down because I think it's very important that we put some words to our activity tonight. Your Excellencies, distinguished Ambassador of Belgium to Nigeria, His Excellency Peter Legnat, the Danish Ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Jens Oldenburg Hansen, the Italian Ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Roberto Mengoni, the Spanish Ambassador, His Excellency Felix Costales Artieda. Right? And of course, members of the diplomatic corps. My beloved husband, High Chief Emmanuel Richard Odunuwa, the other law for even though especially love, adore you, and recognize you tonight. And of course, members of the team that traveled all the way from Delta State, my beloved thank you, my dear friends, Dr. Fred, and Mr. Ernest, good evening, of course, honorable colleagues here present, traditional rulers who are here present, good evening, and of course, ladies and gentlemen of our beloved communities, not just Kogi Central, but Kogi State, and without leaving my dear party leaders and every other leader in our community that I failed to mention, good evening. The past few days, or should I say a couple of weeks, have been quite tasking because I have worked closely with His Excellency, the Ambassador of Belgium, to put this together. We kind of wanted it to be a surprise. So while he was handling the ambassadorial team, myself, my husband, and a few of us worked very hard behind the scene also to put everything together. And the whole idea is actually less than two fronts. On one is leisure, opening the communities, who we are as a people, to the outside world. And on the other side is for them experiencing some parts of Nigeria. And it wasn't easy for them to actually decide coming here because without a doubt, we know the narratives on the media, especially with regards to police state. But I want us to especially applaud their courage. Please let's give them a standing round of applause, please. Thank you, our dear ambassadors, for finding courage to walk to Kogi State, Kogi Central in particular, at this time, to celebrate us, our people, our communities, and let the world know through your lenses that we are worthy of visiting, that we are hardworking, we are receptive. energy, and we are peaceful. And you know what? Please sit down, please sit down, please sit down. You know, when we visited quite a number of sites, and some of the places we visited with them were actually my first time. Please, should I give the microphone to you? Because I can tell you're having a conversation there. If what I'm saying is too boring, you can please excuse us. We need silence. Dead silence, please. Thank you. Thank you. So like I said, we started off with visiting Mount Patti in Lokoja. And that's, for those of you who do not know, that's supposed to be the resting place for Lord Lugard, who was the first governor of the Northern Protectorate. And that spot was where Nigeria was named by his then woman, Miss Flora Shaw. So it was such a historic moment it was the first time for my husband, the first time for the ambassadors, the first time for many of us to have gone there. You know, it was such a humbling experience to actually walk into Lord Lugard's cottage, in his rooms and what is left of it. You know, it was such a remarkable moment to stand up there on the hills and overlook Lokoja and see the beauty of the waters. And I think we should do more in promoting that part of our tourism, because a lot of people really want to see that. So from Mount Patti, we drove all the way to Marine Road, where we were received by the NIWA team. Thank God and thank the management of NIWA. They generously supplied us with good boats and the patrol team. And it took us 30 minutes into the Confluence Port. It was a very nice boat ride. So we were able, that was my first time of standing in the space on the water where the two rivers, River Niger and River Benue, met. How many of you were with us there on that day? And it was a good experience, right? Yeah, I mean, being part of, there's always something to read about a piece on the books, on the papers, of the newspaper, and it's a totally different experience witnessing it yourself. So from there, we drove all the way to a Jakarta Steel Company. Unfortunately, we weren't able to access the steel plant because we didn't get permission from the minister too. But right there, we were able to showcase to our visitors, the ambassadors, the potentials of the largest steel plant, let's say Africa, as it were supposed to be, and the, should I say, sleeping potentials, because that edifice there, the complex, still has the potential of creating jobs and sustaining industrialization in Nigeria. It still has. I still believe it's a dream that is possible. With the right will and intentions, it's possible. So we're able to experience that, took some pictures, and then we drove down here. So today we woke up, and we've been on our feet, right, so pretty much most of the day. We started hiking at the old Obeba Hill, which is a 2 minutes drive and 8 or 9 minutes walk. We decided to walk because even while we were walking, we were still educating ourselves on our environment. So we climbed the hills, the Obeba Hills, which is the ancestral hill of the Ihima community. You know, for hundreds of years back, the people used to live on the highlands, so on the hills. So all that we know today, the whole settlements we see around us, started pretty much the late 60s and 70s. So that means in the 50s, 1950s, 1940s, 1800s, 1700s, the people lived on the hills. And the hills served as a refuge in times of war and against wild animals, and it was such a beautiful place. We spent almost 2 hours there, and it was just, I could only stand there and imagine how well our people lived. We saw a particular, I would say, a coven or a natural well, which never runs dry, even in dry season, pretty much when dry season now. So there's always like a natural spring there, and that supplied our people water. While we were there, what I counted was not less than 8 different species of the cactus family. I never knew we had cactus plants in this part of Nigeria. But there, today, we saw different types of cactus. We saw some plants that looked like aloe vera, but they were red. I had never seen that species before.
So I just stood there and I thought, maybe the botanical garden I announced a few days ago on social media that we should create should actually be in that spot. Because I remember my husband and I went to Nice sometimes last year, and in Nice, by the Fragonard town, the Fragonard factory where perfumes were made, there was this, the cactus garden up. You have to walk way up there, and it attracts a lot of tourists, and it then generates revenue. So I think it would be out of place if we make our hills more decent in such a way that we can actually promote our cultures to them. And then we have people visit from all over Nigeria and even all over the world to experience the nature in its finest form. So that's not a bad idea. So while we're on the hills, our visitors, including myself, we witnessed the production of some of the local crafts. The shea butter was down here. The black soap, we were able to observe the exhibition of the black soap, and the palm kernel oil, the hot press and the cold press options, as well as the palm kernel cream. Another good thing is we had breakfast up on the hill. Akara was fried on the spot. Some of our visitors had a chance of experiencing fried akaras themselves, like the lady over there, she did. And it was so good because we all interacted, it was very participatory, and it was fun. It was so much fun that I started thinking it would be good to have a sit out up there for people, to experience. Maybe we could have some cultural troops up there. So we came down, showered, had breakfast, and then went to the markets, the Oboroke market, because they wanted to experience what a typical Nigerian market is. So they went there with us. We went to the potters, where the local pots were made. For those of us who do not know, most of our lands here are actually of clay. And if you go around, you see that most of the houses are mud houses. And as a passed on tradition, as a way of preserving food, our pots, clay pots, are still used till today to preserve perishable foods and to make water cooler, as well as cooking and all of that. So we experienced the traditional way of pottery making. And we got back here, and we also had, which is one of the finest pieces of our traditional crafts, is the cloth weaving techniques. So our ambassadors had an opportunity of observing how our fabrics are being woven. And I'm really glad that across the country there's a new awakening for a need for our local fabrics as being made into jackets, trousers, bags, shoes, and all that. So our visitors were able to witness that production. They make some observations which we will take into consideration, because at the end of it, it's not about how much or how little the partner is playing. No. The bigger vision is, how do we project ourselves? How do we coordinate ourselves as a community such that our skills that will be turned into products and services will be commercially patronized internationally? Through that, we can generate revenue and create the jobs. So that's the bigger goal. So they made some observations, and we're going to take that into consideration as well. Today was just a bit exhibitory. Oh, by the way, on our way back, we also stopped by the maternity center, which we commissioned late last year. We also noticed that the construction team have started constructing the doctor's quarters. Because after the commission, we thought we would just start operating immediately. But most of the doctors the staff that we wanted to recruit, they wanted to stay within the premises. They didn't want to leave outside the premises. So we said, okay, for safety and all their concerns, we deal with. It was one thing for me to tell them he might stay, but it's another thing for them to feel safe themselves. And we needed their services because we do not expect the staff to all be from this community. Do you understand? It's where the best available hands are, then we patronize. So we are right now constructing a number of quarters for the doctors, and we're going to fence. That should be done before the end of this year. After that, we will then put it to use. So while we're there, I also pleaded with our beloved ambassadors friends of Nigeria, Kogi State, especially Kogi Central, that we do know that there are a lot of international supports or activities available for women, children, even, what's it called? What's this word? Like when people have operation day surgeries, you know, like cataract and others. If, in your countries, if you find any of these activities available, please just know that we already have a facility that we could use to serve communities. And the fact that it's here does not mean that people from other parts of Kogi State, and they will come, people from Edo State, they'll travel here, you know that it's a particular medical reach out. They will be here, so we would appreciate if you take into cognizance this facility and help set it as one of the outposts for your medical activities in the country. Thank you. So then we now go to the very interesting part, which is the masquerade performance. We were able to, we watched the dance, or should I say the parade of 4 masquerades from this community. And I tell you, the ambassadors, if you had come, if you had visited us during the masquerade seasons, because they are timed usually, if you had visited, you would have been amazed. Like you would have had a larger number come out, because a number of them had to be, you know, appeased, because, you know, the gods had to be appeased, the spirits had to be appeased, and some of them didn't feel comfortable coming out. But the few that came out today were really grateful, and I think we're able to, you witness a part of our culture, however fierce it is, however, but it's exciting. And yeah, so then we have this dinner today. And I want to say this, we're really, really, really grateful. I put a little note this evening, right after the masquerade dance, and I would like to read directly, because sometimes when one writes, when you read. Okay, so here, I put this thoughts down. Communities do not develop by wishful thinking. Progress is intentional. It begins with leaders and citizens working together with a clear purpose. We must organize our strengths. We must showcase our skills, products, and services to the world. The world is a marketplace, and in every marketplace, demand drives supply. When people know who we are and what we offer, opportunities follow. Patronage creates jobs create income. And income builds stronger families and a stronger community. Development is not an accident. It is a result of coordinated action, strategic vision, and purposeful leadership. This is how communities rise. So this, I have to say this because there's some of you who think this is not legislative, it's not part of her duty. It is. Because I am an ambassador of you all. So everything I do, when I campaigned, I made a promise. I said everything within the National Assembly and outside, as long as I save you, I will think it's my duty to bring my network and see how it will be beneficial to you all. But all I ask is you all key into it. Because it's not a duty that I can do alone. Just as I have also spoken to our dear friends tonight. Yes, they came here to relax, to have fun. And I know without a doubt they had so much fun. As a matter of fact, the ambassador of Italy said, boy, these activities should have been spread over a week, but we compressed them into 2 days. Then they all wish to be here again. And I know that them leaving tonight, they will become ambassadors of Ibiraland, ambassadors of Kogi Central, ambassadors of Kogi State. And they are going to speak good, kind, and progressive words, not just to their colleagues of other countries, but to their own country. Believe me, they all sit here as presidents of their countries, as eyes, as ears, as windows of their countries. So what we do, and I'm so proud of us, like I am super proud, I'm so proud that we have shown them who we are as Iberian people. Hardworking, peaceful, very receptive, as you travel back tomorrow, we pray that God grants you journey mercies. And this bond that we have shared today, we look forward to hosting you back again. And next time you come, you'll come in larger numbers. Because you'll come here and then, you know what? When you feel like taking a break from Abuja, when you feel like hiking, when you feel like exploring nature, this is the place for you. This is home. You felt it. It's amazing. Everything. We walked around, we were like, it felt so free, walking in the markets, walking between houses, without anybody attacking them. Like this, they were like, this was not what they expected. And the credit goes to all of us, that we can have them walk. And there are some politicians that can't walk without amongst the people, because they will be booed. Do you understand? So I'm so happy, so proud of us. And I think I should stop because I'm not repeating it. I wish I can open my heart to show you how grateful I am. Because I know that it's just greater heights and more blessings. And I promise that wherever you call on us or wherever you lend a hand of support, either through scholarship opportunities, because I know I've been to a number of your embassies sometimes and I see scholarship opportunities, or you have opportunities for arts and film directory for those who are in the film industry. Whatever it is that you know that you have, I know you're gonna take your phone and place a call to Miss Natasha. Can you bring so because you are also our ambassador. Thank you so much. We love you all. And we look forward to receiving you again.
This is the man who videoed it. Hey!